You ready for this, Rick?
Yeah, super ready. Let's hope we don't have any of our initial issues we've had the last couple of streams with getting things set up. It's like, gee, that Rick and Tim, they couldn't even open the project file. I'm not so sure about this.
Tech support the game. The first one, we couldn't open the project file. The second one, we couldn't stay online.
Super quick bit of context for someone who's not watched any of our other streams. Challenge Club is a place where we give you weekly project files and quests, we're calling them, where you fix and improve game projects. And those game projects, each week there'll be a new one. There's usually around about between 6 and 20 challenges of things that are asking you to improve this, change that, find this, fix that. And it's a lot of just jump in and go for it. This is the practice side of game development. And we're going to see, as Tim goes through this, the benefit of that process is that it embeds. When you have to go and scratch your head and search for 15 minutes for the solution, then when you find that solution, it really embeds your knowledge.
So I've been given a pinball game, and it's kind of broken. It's got one flipper. It's got one flipper here. What kind of pinball game has one flipper? Well, this one does. So we're going to fix it. My first quest is flipping heck. One flipper on the right side of our table, add 2 more flippers on the left side of the table, one at the bottom, one halfway up. For bonus points, don't look at the right flipper for any clues how to get about connecting left flippers. That's probably not going to happen. I'm probably not going to get the bonus
Tim,
points.
I'd say definitely look at the right flipper.
This, based on how I've done in the past 2 streams, I'm probably going to have to figure it out.
Learning the right way to code or the right way to construct things versus picking out bad habits. And a lot of the assumption of Challenge Club working on the quest is that you've gone through some courses or you've taken some learning and it's starting to embed in your brain. You're getting those practices. But if you don't go and actually do these things, practice them, try them out, then you don't know why you're doing the things that you're doing. But if you're learning those practices and then you go and do it on your own with a little bit of guidance and you see, aha, if I structure it this way, then that way, I get a lot of problems later on, then you know why an instructor in a course was telling you, here's the right way to do it, or here's good practice, here's good habit. You know what, Tim? There's a technique for flipping stuff that you might not have learned yet, or you might not know about. Turn your monitor upside down.
This...
So, and
oh, you have a real tip for me. Okay, I was like, Rick, if you set that up for like 2 solid minutes.
No, that was one of our hilarious community members said flip your monitor. That wasn't me building up to that joke.
I thought you were building that joke up for that long. I was like, oh my god.
If you set scale to -1, it'll flip it the whole shebang. So you just have to figure out which one to -1.
I think it's the X, because that did what I wanted. Well, look at that. Let's just see what happens. That's kind of how I game dev. Let's just see what happens. The way that I'm solving this is really trial and error. Like, this is not what a programmer would do at all. No, okay, now it doesn't work at all. Which, okay, welcome to game dev. Is that just because the joint is in the hinge is in the wrong
so
place?
If people aren't familiar with the hinge joints, then go check out the Unity docs are pretty good on that, or you can just watch a quick video on hinge joints. You've got one object that needs to have a rigid body connected to another object that has a rigid body. In this moment, it's not as broken what you're attaching it to, so that part is fine, but we'll get to that in a moment to clean it up. But it's basically, it's pivoting around a point. You can see the blue dot there is the pivot, yeah, and then you have the angle limits.
Okay, so these are the numbers for that. Okay, that's what I thought those were. Okay, so I can just, there we go.
You can change where that goes. So it's saying how far can the thing rotate.
See, it's doing a weird thing though. I don't know what it's doing.
That's, yeah. So if you look at let's look at the angles now. So you've got it, I think, pretty nailed with the exception of the angles. That's not the angle you're searching for.
Yeah, no.
that's the transform. That's the overall rotation. But the angles of the
Okay, so I've got my 2 flippers. My
flippy
floppies.
Yeah.
I did a thing, not without lots of Rick help, but I did a thing.
Ticket real good. Okay.
There we go. Boom. Only high quality sound effects here on GameDev.tv. Next challenge for this quest, and it's at the moment all the flippers activate when hitting the space bar. Change this so you have to 1 key press for the right flipper and a different key press for the left flipper. So I think I have an idea how to do that. I think what I'm going to do, just to give you an overview, is I'm going to give a variable to flipper, and it's going to be like left or right. We're going to serialize it. And then I'm going to go into the code, and then I'm just gonna set separate keys. So if you press left, then the left one's fire, and if you press right, then the right one's fire. And I think that should be pretty simple. Someone said use tags, and that sounds like a great idea. I don't actually know how to use tags, though.
Have you used tags before?
No. And I know I can do this with strings, but I feel like tags
in general, try not to do anything with string.
I can do that. I can try. I can learn a new thing. Thank you for that.
You can do it. You got it.
So I'm going to create a new tag.
And Tim, I haven't been going on about this too much because you don't need GameDev.tv courses as a prerequisite for Challenge Club, but pretty much all of the concepts we're covering in Challenge Club, we've covered in more depth in one of our courses. So if you do have the Unity 2D or Unity 3D courses, you can go to one of the videos where we talk about tags, like get a good old deep reminder on how these things work. So there is a lot of relationship there between what we teach in our courses and what we do in Challenge Club. It's not a case of saying Challenge Club is all a mystery and there's new concepts never covered. The most of the things we've covered in our courses. I think anyone watching now looking at this saying, oh, that doesn't seem like clean code. So often when we create things, we start off with messy just to get it working, and then we stop and look at it and say, this would be a better way of doing it.
So it is officially working.
So left and right?
Left and right. Now it is messy, right? I'm using the same exact code twice with minor variations. So if this was gonna be a game and I had wrote this, and like I was gonna publish this commercially, I would absolutely take this opportunity to make sure that I have one solid piece of code right now. Since this is a challenge and I don't really care about it, why waste the time on it? Let's go do some more fun stuff. All right, left and right, we did a thing. Noise, please. Boom. Make a trail. Give the ball a trail that will flow along behind it as the ball bounces around the table. Now, we could use particles. I've got some experience with particles, and I feel like I can make a difference there. So, particles. Oh, well, would you look at that? would you look at that? I was about to use a particle system, but then I found something called a trail.
Hidden in plain sight.
That's a hell of a quest there. I'm gonna go ahead and click that and see what that does. Well, it's got a trail.
Okay, back to the page. Ticking the box on that one.
We did it. I didn't learn anything from the docs, but hold on. So can I change the width over time? I can. Okay, so I could do like this, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Boom.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Now it's got like a. Okay.
That looks good. Yeah. I like it.
Okay. So I don't think the color looks the greatest from what I have.
But it's good. It's done. You could finesse that a little bit more.
Right, but it makes it stand out. It makes the ball easier to see, which is nice. So that's good. So let me double check that challenge. Give the ball a trait that will flow along behind it as the ball bounces on the table. And I did that. I get a sound effect.
Diddling.
Boom. So create some code and expose a variable in slowdown.cs that allows you to slow the game down in the inspector. Huh.
So do you know how to slow the entire game?
I assume it has to do with time or delta time. Or time scale is what it is in other engines.
Scroll back up and click on time as a class.
Oh wait, sorry, I did search.
Or do that. It's your call.
There is a time scale. That's what I thought.
Okay, you got it. You got it. So what I wanted to say, just as a learning tip here, what I tend to do is click into the class and then look at the different methods that are available, or the properties that are available. Then I can get some ideas from there.
So what I could do is I could do time.time copy pasta. That's how that's how games are made, kids. Okay. So I'm guessing, so slowdown.cs, I'm not sure that it runs anywhere though. So there was a trick that you taught me last time, Rick. So when you click on a script, it shows.
Yep.
I forget how you did it though. It was like find.
You got it. Oh, you got it. Nearly warmer, colder, warmer.
Find references in scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's on main and it's on the ball. Okay, so the scale now should be slower when I play. Right. So the ball. Okay.
Yeah. So
There we
if
go.
you, what was the challenge itself? There was, I think, a little bit more.
The
specifics
challenge
to it than that.
was to be able to slow the entire game down will help a lot when implementing a functionality and watching what it collects. Create some code and expose a variable in slowdown.cs that allows you to slow the game down in the inspector. So the code wasn't to just get the time scale down. The challenge wasn't just that. The challenge was also to get it in the inspector. I want to do a checkbox, and I think bool is how you do that. And then it works.
Oh, there you go. That looks slower.
So I have noticed in playing this that I'm not going to be able to check that box in game mode.
Now, hook it up so when you push a particular key, you can have the game go slow or fast. So you can be bouncing around. You're like, okay, I just need to play the game a bit. And then, oh, I need to slow it for this moment to see what happens. Or it's often useful as the ball's coming down to the flippers. You can slow it at that point and then get the ball in the exact right position and hit the shot.
So it starts slow mode. Press it, goes fast mode. Oh, look at that. So I've got a control key toggle that automatically checks my little checkbox. I feel like an automation machine. I will say I like this method of learning though, because it's so intimidating staring at that blank screen, right? Like when you open Unity and just there's nothing there, it's like what do you do? But when you give me something pretty that half works, suddenly it's like I feel much more motivated to like figure it out, right?
There's a subset of people that really need to just get in there and do it. That they don't necessarily have as much patience to watch and follow the process. That's part of what we're trying to do here. Here's a project file, here's some issues, let's solve it, let's work through it. Challenge Club is available, GameDev.tv/club. It's available for you guys to come in and check it out. 7-day free trial.
It's really good to get the basics in like a course, like the 2D or the 3D course. And then, so you're familiar with the engine, you know where the buttons are, you know if statements, you know basic stuff, right? Then something like this where you have to like, okay, I don't know how to do that. Let me check the docs out. Let me read what a hinge is. Let me do all this and then go back and forth. I think that's a really effective way to solidify your knowledge.
It's like going to the gym or working out or exercising. If you know, hey, I've been taught how to do a bench press. That's cool. I'm good now. I don't have to do it ever again. It's not that way. You need to do it each week to practice and to get better at it and to remember it and all that kind of stuff.
Can you imagine going to the gym and somebody's like, oh, bench press, I already did one of those. I did one of like 2 years ago.
I'm good with that. Look at my chest. Can't you tell? I learned bench press.
Having done game dev and having wanted to learn Unity because of my own game studio and all that, like I really, really, really do find it valuable. And that's not just me, trying to push a link on people. It's like legitimately it's super valuable way to learn from me. I've learned from courses, I've learned from YouTube videos, I've learned from, blog posts and Stack Overflow and all that. But like given a project that's pretty to look at, that has a bunch of stuff that it needs to be done, that I can kind of disassemble and figure out, it's a great way to learn from me. If you've done courses and you're kind of done with that, or maybe the courses weren't for you, or for whatever reason, it's just not part of your thing, I think it's worth giving it a shot. And 7-day free trial, you can't really go wrong on it. I'm excited to see like where people go with it, because it's like I'm having fun with this pinball game, but I would love to see what other people do with their pinball game, right? Like how did they do slow mode? How did they do all this stuff? Since we want to do stuff every week, we want to continually add stuff. Like some of these projects take a long time to build, right? And so we're releasing them every week, and we're trying to support the community and all the new stuff. And the cool thing about Challenge Club too is that when you join, not only do you get the stuff every week, but you get all the previous stuff. And that's how it is currently. It may change in the future, but right now you get a lump full of stuff when you join, and then you get more stuff as the weeks go on, and you can kind of do the challenges with the community every week.
But for now, Tim's put the link in there, gdev.tv/club. Come check it out. Jump in for the 7-day free trial. Hope you stick with it. And as Tim was saying just a moment ago, any feedback, let us know. Hey, Tim, thanks as always for hanging out with me. I love chatting with you.
Thank you, Rick, for being the master of game dev and teaching me all the ninja skills. I appreciate it very much.
Awesome. And as always, thank you for you guys for watching today, for hanging out with us. Look forward to seeing you in Challenge Club, and talk to you again on an upcoming stream.
Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
See ya.